You are listening to Rags to Resale, the podcast for career resellers or anyone who wants to amp up their online resale business the right way. Here are your Posh Pro experts.
Welcome back to Rags to Resale. It is me, Megan, and I am, even though it looks like I'm in a really boring hotel room, I'm actually in Houston at Poshfest. Yay! And I have two of my cohorts with me here. I grabbed the two closet consultants that I was enjoying the most today, and we are together as a threesome of closet consultant brains to talk about all things Poshfest, closet consulting, and Poshmark, why we're here, who we are, why are we doing what we do. And so these closet consultants were chosen out of thousands of people that decided that they wanted to speak at Poshfest. And these guys were chosen along with me to be a closet consultant, and for a very good reason. Please introduce yourselves. Randy at the top here.
Hey, I'm Randy from Las Vegas. I am rolling rack Posh on Poshmark. And I applied, this is my second year, I applied to either be a speaker or a closet consultant, and they finally called back because we're in real life this year. So
yeah, and it's Martina. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm Martina, and my closet is crazy normal chic. And I actually am from the Houston area. I live about 60 miles north around the Lake Conroe area. And when I saw Poshfest was going to be in Houston, I've never been to one. Yeah. And I was like, this is my opportunity. And I've never met another reseller since I've been doing this since 2018. So this has been amazing for me to meet so many people and have like minds together.
It has been fun to talk the talk that I talk that feels like a foreign language to everyone in my life and have everyone talk back and know what I'm saying. It was so fun. I've been skeptical about Poshfest. It's an expensive ticket, and I always said I wouldn't do it unless I was speaking or being, some part of it, because I feel like there's value in that. I stand corrected. I would come as a participant. I really would. It's been wonderful. And it's only been day one. We've got day two tomorrow. Yeah. So Martina, you're from Houston. Where are you from, Randy?
Originally Chicago, but I've been in Las Vegas since 2005. So now Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So where from Chicago?
Suburbs, western suburbs, out like Naperville, Wheaton area.
Yeah. So I'm in Barrington.
Oh, cool. Barrington is off of 59 and down a little bit south. I shouldn't give away sources, but the Bartlett Goodwill is my favorite when I go back home.
Oh, really? Well, you're not here right now, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, go. I'm only there like 2, 3, 4 times a year, but when I go, I always make my way out there.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like the House of Hope in Lake Zurich, and I love that one. And when they have their clearance, because the whole back room goes $1. Right now they've got everything kids 25 cents, and lots of it's not kids. Okay. They just, we today, just for our listeners, we were all in a room and we had assigned people come in, and we would help them with their closet. So we would actually take time to look at their closet and give them advice. What do you think was the most common advice you guys were giving? What do you think, Martina?
For me, the most common advice I was giving was pictures. And I have to say, I'm an older for, a lot of the young ladies here. And I love that everyone I met with today was around my age. And it was just great to be like, there's just such a wide age range on Poshmark. And I thought that was really cool. But pictures was probably the biggest one of the 3 closets that I looked in, and maybe how to use some of the apps that are out there like Pick Tap Go or Photo Room, and to help them kind of enhance that first picture, and how that first picture on Google plays a role. And so we talked about some of those things like that.
Oh, very cool. That's great advice. How about you, Randy?
I will definitely echo what she said. I spent a lot of time talking about background removal tools and how a white background tends to come up better in Google searches, and how Poshmark is actually coming up in Google. And a lot of people didn't seem to know that. I had an array of ranges of where people are in their journey. So I had somebody just starting out that had only been on for 4 months. And then I had somebody that's been on for several years that's already a 6-figure seller. And you would think that maybe you wouldn't have a lot to add to that, but there were some pretty basic things that she just skipped right over. So it just goes to show that depending on how good of value your product is, you can still sell even if everything's not perfect.
Right.
So she was doing very well. But yeah, we had talked about mannequins and different types of mannequins. I got into a conversation with one posher about like a typical mannequin mistake. Like if you get a canvas mannequin, how that doesn't play well with fabric. You're going to be like fighting to get the clothes on the mannequin, and how much easier it was when she finally switched to plastic because it'll slide on and slide off easier. We got into not using punctuation or abbreviations in titles.
I love that, because those are all little things that, you know, even as a seasoned seller, you've learned it and you made your mistakes early on, and now it's just second nature to you. But when you step back and have to teach someone else, it really helps you see the value in all the things you've learned. You know, you realize how much you are an expert, you know, and it seems silly because you're like, oh, I just resell and I thrift. No, we're experts. We're experts in this field, and we can and do help people, you know, don't you think, Martina?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I felt that way today. Also bringing in social media, because that was one of the areas on that. And that was such a great form that Poshmark gave us to go through the closets with everyone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Randy, I have to say, I love that you put that on Instagram too. I just thought that was fabulous.
You know, everybody needs to see that.
Yeah. Because to take that home, really review your closet yourself then if you have that form in front of you. But bringing up the social media part of it, because I think Instagram and Poshmark really go well together.
And a lot of the people that I talked to, or all three of them that I talked to, really had missed some, like you said, some basic things. And a lot of it are basic things that have come out recently, like the bulk sharing. I showed 2 of the 4 folks, I talked to 4 folks about how to do it. Like literally hit here, hit here.
I had one person that didn't know about the share all feature, or how to filter out the solds.
Right.
Them all the filter options. Let me show you.
It's such, I mean, you just to see the relief roll over their face and the shock that like, oh my God, this is just about to get so much easier was a joy. You know, I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So that was really fun. And I'm actually doing it again tomorrow, because as I was rolling out, they had too many appointments tomorrow. Yeah. And so I think I was slowly wandering out because I was getting people's emails and they were like, do you want to do it again tomorrow? I was like, sure. So I'm excited about that. It was really actually very enjoyable. Besides that, how did you guys go to a bunch of the breakouts, and did you engage in all the other activities, and what was your favorite thing?
I went to two sessions before I started getting hangry and had to leave. I went to, of course, the trend recap of upcoming trends and what's happening there, because it's our job to do that. So I went to that. That was really unique. They had somebody from Poshmark HQ, and then they had somebody from Google. And the lady from Google gave some great web links on how to research trends on what is popular and being searched on Google right now. So that was very cool. Awesome. And then the second session was just about how to control and organize your inventory, and a little bit on sourcing. So,
I was in there.
I always, you don't want to fall into the trap, no matter how long you do this, thinking that you know it all, because even if it's a basic session, you will find some nugget of information that is either an update, because things are constantly changing in the tech world. You'll figure something out if you sit in on something.
That's definitely so true.
Found some nuggets.
So true.
I went to the Build Your Brand one.
Oh yeah.
And, I actually took quite a few nuggets away from that. You always think building your brand is going to be such a big endeavor to take on, and you know, how do you build a brand? But they really broke it down to just being consistent in your colors and your look, and that it's consistent across all platforms. If it's Instagram, if it's Poshmark, if it's YouTube, and that's how you're building your brand. So when somebody looks at it, they can say, oh, that looks like Crazy Normal Chic. And it could just be a color cohesion that's across all the platforms, and to just be yourself. I always want to go out on YouTube myself, but I hold myself back a little bit. But that people just want to see you, and you're going to find your people. And I just thought that was a really good message. So just be you.
I love that. Yes. And there's just such a variety of people that hit and become popular on Instagram and Poshmark. And it's not always like the size 2 little perfect modelly looking person, or someone you would think like that look that you see on TikTok, for example.
Right. People
here are hustling. They want answers. They want to make money. And if you've got some answers for them, you're in, baby. That is not what matters here. This is get some crap done, and I just love that about this community. And I'm not just talking about Poshmark community, although I am thoroughly impressed again and again with the Poshmark community, but resellers as a whole. I think it takes a special person to resell. And I think it takes a really holistic look at, how to make money and how to just think outside the box. And, a lot of us start out just enjoying the treasure hunt, but as you grow through the business and become part of this industry, and it is a $1 billion industry, you realize that there's nothing bad about it. You're helping the globe, you're helping the environment, you're helping others, you're helping others save money, you're helping yourself make money and stay home with your children, which helps your children have a better existence. I mean, there's so many good things about it. And it helps to be in a industry like this when you're building a brand, because you can be so proud of it, and I just really appreciate that about this community, so, the thing that I'm looking most forward to is the hackathon, because that's the stuff, like that's all the new stuff coming out. So I'm really jazzed about that. I definitely want to see that and record everything that's going on there. I may just stalk Banish again because he was so nice to me today. I was scared. You know how you're scared to meet someone that you really admire because you don't want him to disappoint you?
He's a Poshmark celebrity.
Yeah. And I just really admire him. And then I saw what he said in the State of the Union, which was like basically my mantra. It was born out of the pandemic and seeing so many women suffer and being laid off and not knowing where to turn. And I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, you can do this from home. It's so easy. And he just mirrored all of that and said all of that. I mean, he said basically Poshmark doesn't work if we don't help each other. And so I was gushing like I'm gushing now to him about how much I appreciate him. And he teared up.
Oh.
And he said, oh my gosh, you're making me tear up. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're such a genuine person. I love you. Like, it was amazing. I was like, you really do care. It's so clear. So I was just really thrilled with that. And I got a picture with him and I just was like, well, you made my whole day. So I've just been sort of coasted on that.
You got to see your buddy tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I don't want to scare him. Like, hi again. He's just so nice. But then also Nathalie Kelly interviewed me.
Oh, cool.
It was random. She just walked up to our table and said, anybody want to get interviewed? And she picked 3 or 4 people. So that was totally cool. She's adorable. Oh my gosh, what a cute pie. And I didn't realize all she'd been in. She's in tons of stuff. She's gorgeous. And she had the cutest thing on, and she got it on Poshmark. It was this beautiful silk dress. What a doll. So all in all, great day, right?
That portion with her, and I think the State of the Union with Manesh, you can watch on their YouTube channel, because I didn't catch it live, but I was watching it from my PJs in my bed. So
Isn't that great? Yeah, they shared both of those things.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube too. It was great to see his whole speech. It was wonderful.
Yep.
Well, I just think a giant thumbs up, and I'm only on day one. I'm just really shocked. I got to tell you, like I've been always skeptical because it's a high ticket, and thrilled. I just really feel like they checked all the boxes for me, so I'm just really happy. And I get to pick up my Posh fixings in person. So
Yeah.
good, because I really need that big bag because I got all this stuff from Whatnot. Unless Martina, you're local. You want to come check this stuff out. It's going cheap.
They've got you said the hackathon. They also are going to do a demo on lives. So that should be cool. And I'm actually really looking forward to the venture planning. It sounds horrendous and boring, but to me, that's kind of where I'm at in my journey.
Yeah.
Because there comes a point where you've got too much money wrapped up in inventory and it's not selling as fast as you're spending. So I'm curious to see what they have to say on that.
Yeah, I gave a little bit of advice on that today too. I feel like people, first of all, I said to do the relist, the relist and delete situation, because a lot of people don't realize that operates as a new listing, and it also gets your price back up. But then I also said, let go. You've got to you
At
got
a certain
to
point in time, that's the answer.
Because you have a huge, and I'm guilty of this. You have this huge closet and you just let it sit there. And sometimes it's overwhelming to people. And then you do have repeat customers and they see the same things. So you do have to move that inventory. So it's a delicate balance, I would say. So I went sourcing in the bins today in Houston because I heard from some friends of mine on Poshmark that it's awesome. So I went to the one on Long
Point. Yes.
And there were no carts when I got in there. So I was making psycho pile. And then I finally coerced this woman to give me her cart. She was going to take it all the way out to the parking lot. I was like, please. So she gave me her cart, and thank God. Other than that, I found some really good stuff, but it was crazy.
I only source the bins. That's my business model. So I only do the bins, and there's 5 of them around Houston. And it's amazing some of the stuff that I found at the bins. I always come away with at least one pair of cowboy boots.
I saw some cowboy boots. I left a lot of stuff that I saw that I would normally have probably grabbed. And even though I would normally have snagged them to take home, I'm trying not to fly with a ton of stuff, and I'm already failing at that. So, I just don't want to deal with it. I'm thinking, should I ship it home? So I just offered a bunch of people mystery boxes. Martina, come and get it. Literally, I don't want to fly with this stuff. But, but that's the beauty of the bins. You're not ever losing money. You're always going to make money. What about you, Randy? Where do you love to source?
Oh, I like sourcing in Colorado, believe it or not. It sounds similar to Houston by way of the Western wear, like leather, fringe, cowboy boots, but also Colorado gets into cold weather stuff that is kind of, I guess more substantial as far as weight and texture and wool and organic fabric. So maybe you can ask for a higher ticket price point on it. I find a lot of vintage wool and old grandpa sweaters that seem to sell well, and sometimes vintage ski gear, like full-fledged 80s, 90s neon sweatsuit bibbed type ski pants.
That's awesome.
And those always seem to do well. So I hang out there. I haven't done the bins in Colorado though. My dad's side of the family is the side that's from Chicago, and my dad and I are the ones that relocated to Las Vegas together, but my mom's half is all Colorado. So I am bouncing constantly between Vegas, Chicago, Colorado, and those are my little sourcing places. Then my little sister went rogue and went up to Utah. The Utah bins were something. Those were good bins too, because like Colorado, same type of stuff.
Yeah.
So when we go into fourth quarter and winter, that's my jam. Sweaters, boots, leather. I go ham. I go so crazy. And summer's definitely more mellow for me.
Yeah. My mother-in-law had a place in Sundance for many, many years. Right. And so I would source in Sundance. They all thought I was crazy, but not Sundance, but I would go down to Provo and that's great thrift shopping. Great thrift shopping. Deseret.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you make the trip up to Sturtevant?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
It's fun too. That's another one of my favorites.
Yeah. It's actually a really good bins.
Yeah.
It's just so far.
It's not that bad. It's like an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half. Yeah.
That's nothing.
It just drives me nuts when I know like there's 10 thrift shops around me, but I do it. I do.
You've got to be in the mood. We
Yeah.
look at it as an excuse. We're foodies. Like we go on a tour of pizza when we go back home to Chicago.
Mhm.
We go up to Sturtevant, we go to the brat stop and get like kringla and brats and all that stuff.
That's
So
awesome.
we
Yeah.
make it a whole thing.
It's a really good Benz. It's just that it really eats into my day and I'm so jammed right now, but I've been trying to get up there. I also have so much inventory. Like I
Yeah.
feel like
I put myself on a pause. I didn't go here, which is amazing. Like the whole rolling rack to rolling rack Posh is because I was doing this full time for a couple of years and then, work fired up. I work in events. So I actually travel the country for Volkswagen, working all their auto shows and presenting
cool.
cars and public speaking and stuff. And so I try to shop wherever they send me, which is pretty much all over the place. But it just got out of hand.
asking for a friend, how do you get all that stuff home?
So, okay, I was going to say this earlier when you're like, I don't know what to do with this stuff. Lori is here from eBliss, and I'm sure you've heard that name dropped a couple times in a couple different sessions. Lori and Dave are a couple, and they're in Colorado, and I've actually been to their facility. Basically, they are storing and organizing your inventory. So basically what I would do if I wanted to shop here in Houston, it would take a little bit of pre-planning because I would bring my different size Ziploc bags. I would bring my roll of SKU stickers, and I would have to find a box or bring a box, get a box somewhere. And then I would print out a label, probably at the hotel printer, and I send it to eBliss and they deal with it for me. You're selling it. So it's still on me to list and to take pictures. So, but they do store it, pull, pack, and ship. My new system is, if this was selling new with tags, is something that would retail for over $100. If the answer is yes, it makes sense. I wouldn't even mess with sending anything to eBliss that's not going to sell for at least $35 because they take around $4 to $6 per item.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's so cool.
Totally worth it. You get your house back, your life back, your mind back. It's great.
I mean, you should.
I will change my whole business model to accommodate that. Like I will stop picking up lower end stuff so I can do that.
So Martina, tell me about your process. Like so you source the bins, that's your total business plan. So do you have like a day you go, a price point you stop at? Do you have?
I usually try to go Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I usually only go once a week, and I usually pick up anywhere from 40 to 50 items. I have a smaller closet, but I do everything myself. So I manage about 300 items, but I'm selling about 100 to 150 a month. So I'm going through half my closet every month. And so I kind of list what I'm the same amount that I'm selling every month. I am part of the reason I wanted to come too is because I'm at that point where I want to level up. I want to kind of bring it up to the next level. So hearing all the ideas of how people are doing things that manage more of an inventory. I have a walk-in closet. My whole inventory is in one walk-in closet.
Wow.
My average sales price is about $31. So right now I won't pick up an item if I can't list it for anywhere to $40 to $50 at a minimum, because I do like to price it a little higher so that I can send an offer and discount shipping. So I am very picky when I'm at the bin. So it can take me all day to be there because that item has to be able to list for a higher price point.
Wow. All day.
So that's kind of, that's
like heaven.
Well, in this humidity, not so much. When I leave,
Is it hot? Yeah. Oh God.
The Vegas bins, they don't have air in the summer. And it's like 116. They have a fan. I'm like, no. No.
That sounds horrible.
It's awful.
Oh,
but that's kind of what my model's like now. And I bring it all home and, I wash it, steam it, clean it, whatever I need to do with those items. There's some repairs sometimes. I love vintage. I do find quite a few vintage pieces. And then I batch my work. So, I hang it all up. I do it from short to long. And then I measure it all at once. And then I take pictures all at once. And then I edit my pictures all at once and draft. And I use Vendu, draft them all into Vendu, and then go from there. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So it just depends. I do all different ways. I'll do that. I'll batch it. I'll spend a whole day listing. And then other times I'll just get, 20 done at a time. It just depends on what I have time for. and I source all different ways and situations. A lot of times I'm driven to go to a thrift shop because a kid needs something. I've got 4 kids, so a kid needs something or someone asks me for something, and nothing makes me more jazzed than one of my kids saying, "Mom, can you find me I'm like,
yes, look what I found.
absolutely, I can. Watch me go, and so I just get all excited about finding them that perfect thing. And I usually can, obviously. And that just thrills me. So I really enjoy that. And I love now my daughter, I was thinking about doing different shows once these, and the last thing I want to talk to you guys about in the next 10 minutes is the Posh shows. But I think once I can start doing Posh shows, I'm training on the 6th.
So am I. We might be in the same class then.
Yay! Oh, good. Yeah. So I want to do a Katie show and a Riley show because my 2 daughters have such different looks and what they wear and everything. Riley's total TikTok, but she's 10 years old and she's so cute. And she wears crop tops and sweatpants, and she loves Lululemon, and she wants to spend $1 bazillion on her outfit. And Katie wears the coolest 90s crap I've ever seen on a kid. She is all about thrifting, all about 90s, all about her. We talked a lot about this today. When you source, they go and talk to the Plato's Closet people, and they're like, "What are you taking?" Well, or, they go to their teenagers, and say, "What are you buying? What do you want?" Why? Because they're in school and they're seeing 700 of the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So right. It's just really a smart move to listen to the youth of America when it comes to resale.
Sure.
So anyway, so Posh shows, because we have to do it, because I've been going on and looking at them, and there's 100 people in every show.
It seems like they're doing a really good job keeping it not oversaturated with sellers right now doing it. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think it's everybody's jam anyways, because even somebody today during a closet consultation was telling me that she had been approved on whatnot, and she said she's scared to go live. So some people are just a little bit freaked out by going live. So it's not everybody's cup of tea anyways. So
hey, it's scary. I'm not afraid to speak live. It's not just that. You've got your list of things that you've got to pin and
with Poshmark, you don't necessarily have to worry about a following, because if there's so many people on the app all the time, when they get used to seeing those shows, they're just going to pop into them. And so hopefully we can keep them there.
Right. When on Whatnot, it's all shows all the time, Let's just finish up with a feel-good topic. What makes you enjoy being a reseller the most?
For me, it's a combination of everything, but I was in the corporate world as a treasury management consultant, for 25 plus years. And my husband, he works 20 days of the month gone, and he's only home 10 days. And we chose quality of life because we just never saw each other. And so I love the reselling piece of it for that flexibility. I just feel like we got our life back. And then along with that, I love the sourcing. And some of the love notes I get on the items that people receive. One of my favorite ones is I sold this vintage jumpsuit. I think it was gold lame, and the gal was wearing it to a Cher concert, and she was so excited. Yeah. And I love hearing those stories of why they picked that particular item.
For me, it started because I had a serious shopping problem, a massive shopping problem. We're talking $60,000 in credit card debt. I had a shopping problem.
Oh boy.
And I didn't know luxury brands. This is $60,000 TJ Maxx and fast fashion. Girl, get some better knowledge on what you're spending money on and value of stuff. So it kind of started as a joke, one thing in, one thing out. And it's oh, I sold 4 things on Poshmark, so I can buy 4 things from Amazon. And it just kind of became a thing. And then we broke up, and I had to move all the inventory to Vegas.
Oh, no.
And breakups are very enlightening. There's been 2 since I've been on Poshmark, because somebody asked earlier, whose family helps them run their Poshmark business? And my hand went up because my dad, my mom have gotten roped in with hey, can you ship this package? The California boyfriend I am now back with, but there was somebody in between. And this person in between he used to joke around and he's like, I'm her Poshmark mule, because he would come visit me when I was on the road, and I bought him a set of luggage, and I would source on the road, and I would send him back with the luggage, and he would store everything and
Oh
ship
my gosh.
And so
Hey.
we abruptly had a breakup out of nowhere. And I swear I had 2 bedrooms in his house full of inventory. And so I don't know if you guys watch any of my YouTube stuff, but I had this whole thing called the Great Thread Up Experiment, because I sent everything to Thread Up just so I could even get it rejected and sent home to Vegas and not have to pay shipping. But what they accepted, I just did a series on, and it was wild. I had a $1,500 box in one of them. So it was nuts. So it's all documented on YouTube, but that was like
That's awesome.
a total accident by way of a breakup.
That's great. That's a great story. You guys have so much great advice. And I think it is so true that you never stop learning in this business. And I just keep expanding my knowledge, and at every turn, the things I'm learning are fascinating to me. You know, it's just, there's just so many elements of this industry, and they all do good. And I just love that. So I really appreciate you guys. I think we did some good tonight. We got a lot of information out to some people, and this Rags to Resale will be everywhere that you find podcasts, and on our YouTube channel at poshproproject.com. And you guys do a shout out for give me your handles on everything. Randy, where can we find you?
On pretty much everything: Instagram, Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, it's Rolling Rack Posh. On Whatnot, it's Rolling Rack Resale. So a little more broad. And then I've got the Poshmark 101 group, the public Facebook group. That's mine. And I think we're about to kick over 2,000 members. So I just looked.
That's awesome. Like, you're going to kick over 2,000 because I'm going to join.
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So just look up groups. It's Poshmark 101 is the group on Facebook. And then you can go to poshcoach.com. That's my website. So all my courses, the Poshmark course that's launching, and some other stuff's all launching on there. There's a trend report that you can sign up for, so quarterly.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. That's great. What about you, Martina? Where can we find you?
Crazy Normal Chic on all platforms. So Poshmark, eBay, and Instagram, Pinterest, everything's Crazy Normal Chic.
Awesome.
And I'll just add one funny little thing. The reason Crazy Normal, when I met my husband on Match, and that was my handle, Crazy Normal.
That's
that was 15 years ago. So that's where Crazy comes in.
That's adorable. What a great story. You guys are awesome. And I just keep meeting awesome people with this in this industry and on Poshmark. And I just love you guys. And I really appreciate you. And thank you for joining us. And we will be back next week with more fun on Rags to Resale. Thanks for listening, guys.
Tips, live events, contests, celebrity appearances. Don't miss a moment. Follow Posh Pro Project on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube and check out our e-learning courses for resellers at poshproproject.com.